24th Skriða. Gods, days, planets, and more like the human brain. Human brain is a wonder. We can do even more than we now know. Human brain, the gods are found here. This book is on supreme medicine. Read it at least thrice to begin with, then again and again as we get purer and gain the pure understanding. Dedicated to His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the guiding light of the discovery of Veda and Vedic literature in human physiology. The greatest discovery in medicine of modern days. Discovery of unlimited reservoir of energy and intelligence within the physiology of everyone, and scientifically validated programs to harness this energy and intelligence for all possibilities in daily life. It is not a good idea at all to take one god, Guð, out of context, even if its one is, as we might see it, the whole. Everything is the whole. Even if each cell in the body is ginnungagap plus gungnir twinkling here and there, and even if each tiny bit contains all information of Tivatun, the unified field, is the whole functioning of the body the perfect cooperation of cells and organs. In the Veda we have sounds, sounds have frequencies. In the human physiology, in all there is, we have gungnir, sounds, vibrations, frequencies, emir, the sounding. 4 are the Veda, Rigved, Samaved, Yajurved, Atharvaved. 36 are the Vedic literature. They among themselves make loops. It is not wise to take some one thing out of context, but each one is so perfect that we might think there is nothing more to find. We might get absorbed in some one to the extent to lose sight of the whole. We should know that the whole is the very basis of all. Brahmin have preserved their knowledge from generation to generation for thousands of years, also written to preserve it. We here in the north also did that when some sensed the peril of it getting lost. But truth can never die. Always will there be something to its rescue. Veda and Vedic literature had gone astray, gone to different places, and all kinds of divisions into systems took place, north and south and schools. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi puts all in its perfect context again. He sees the whole. He took away later time additions and flowery similes and made-ups. He sees where things belong and understands the whole and the context. Bhagavad Gita is what we can understand. That is, when we have Maharishi's explanation of each stanza. Book Maharishi Mahesh Yogi on the Bhagavad Gita, a new translation and commentary, chapter 1 to 6, along with the original text in Devanagari. When the consciousness of nations heightens, we will get more and more. Evolved souls will be born now, they will understand. Therefore, we need to have the knowledge accessible, especially for them. Parents in the future, next thousands of years, will need to find it easily available. Many have translated the Bhagavad Gita, given all kinds of explanations, but none of them seems to have understood more than the very beginning of the first chapter of the 18 chapters. Ramayana correlates to functions in the human body, says Dr. Tony Nader. We see the laws of nature here in Ramayana. The laws of nature are the flawless intelligence who leads the universe. They make it possible for life to evolve, so we can live perfection. No problem for us to reset the rhythm and harmony. We need to nísast niður, transcend, to really gain ever more understanding. A man who is brought up in the puny understanding of the Middle Ages does not fathom the profundity of our forness either. Some languages own no longer words that convey the profundity. Words have been flattened out to a shallow surface value only. We may need a whole paragraph in English to explain one Sanskrit word. Words in English seem to be shallow, at least in the modern days. I'm worried about the shallow understanding of scholars in some cases. Mallamann með kýrhausinn is a marvelous book by Helgi Hálfdánarson. Helgi explains Völuspá in a new light, which the scholars have overlooked. Of course, they were jealous and tried to hush the findings down. Typical. Helgi finds 3 ancient heathen poems as the core of Völuspá, all mixed up, and he rids her, Völuspá, of later time additions and fabricated untruth. But I was not going to talk about kýrhaus, cow's head, but a human one. In our head is to be found the same order and harmony as in the universe, which is in turn constituted by order of Tivatun, in turn in Ginnungagap. That Ginnungagap's order in the universe, the perfect, is Rán Rögn Regin, found in the human physiology. Dr. Tony Nader Human Physiology as taught by Maharishi. perfectly correlating to the 4 Veda and the 36 Veda literature. Perfect health is the perfect vibrations, gungnir. The human brain. Dr. Nader, MD, PhD, Maharaja Adihi Raja Ram. As is the grossest, so is the smallest, the most subtle. The smallest is uncreated possibilities, but is the widest nonetheless. Glaðheimar ægir consciousness ginnungagap, where all wisdom and knowledge abides. The grossest is created organs in our little human body, cells, material. The gross is what we see as our body and surroundings and a universe. Anuranyan, Mahato Mahyan, smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest, Kataha Upanishad. Upanishad means that the pupil, the aspirant, comes to the master and sits down at his feet. Knowledge cannot be given, the learner receives it. The pupil listens to the teacher, understands, finds the knowledge, and learns the technique to nýsa niður, transcend. Nobody can tell us to learn what we have here in this skræður. We find the knowledge, imbibe the knowledge, when we are ready to find it. We approach the guru, in our case, get the Óðsmál skræður to read them. The teacher doesn't come to the pupil accesses the knowledge. No use trying to stuff us with information. The learner is the main concern. We have to desire the knowledge, have the initiative ourselves, like when Óðinn gets the willi, to seek knowledge. We have to be ready for it, ready to seek and find. Óðinn vilji is the seeking consciousness. Found is only knowledge in consciousness. Lottfafnir, we on that stage in Hávamál, is starting to get the will to understand, but not until in Rúnatal of Hávamál. He is apt enough and humble enough towards the knowledge to understand where the knowledge abides, find out, nýsta niður, how we ourselves in a natural way have access to it in consciousness. Knowledge is structured in consciousness. We are it, all is within. We can tune into the perfection, reset all gungnir, which is perfect health. Days, planets, gods. Names of days, names of gods, names of planets all correlate. Only men living refined stages of consciousness understand the names of gods. Guðinn, the gods and goddesses, are truth within us, says my friend Ram Svarup. Kim Yat Dat Sat Chit Ananda. Thor, Freyja, Loki, Sol, Máni, Týr, Óðinn. Let's compare names of days in the whole of Europe. Each day we revive a specific Guð, god, and a goddess, Freyja. The Greeks have lost their pantheon, polytheon, due to the Orthodox and its cleansing. But Evangelos Dioses, Melostes, Organoses, Thyrsos, Hellenes Ethnikoi, taught me. See Óðsmál 2012, available on Amazon, pictures of Greek gods in names of weekdays. Strategy, art in warfare and conquests. Romans wanted the mob to be happy, so they didn't make fuss about pantheon names. Policy, to keep the people under control, not deal with minor issues. But they are clever, use their Christian era, their special calendar, as a tool invented for its purpose. In Sanskrit, the names of days are exactly the same as we have in Europe, ancient, so we assume they came from there originally. Bhanuvasara, sun, dagur, Sunday, sun, sunna, sol, surya, Heliodithe. Soul is also Bhanu, Ba as in Baldur, and Bala, splendor, shining. Braj is Bragi, the shining one. Induvasara, or Somavara, Mána dagur, moon, Máni, tungl, luna, Chandra, Ardmone. Pámavasara, Tis dagur, Arione, Tuesday, Týr, Mars, Mangal, happiness, welfare. Buddha-dina, Samyavasara, Samayavara, Óðins dagur, Wednesday, Hermione. Merkur, wood, intellect, knowledge, Óðinn, Wotansdag, Mittwoch, Wednesday. Guruvasara, Þors dagur, Thursday, Rione. Shukravasara, Freyju dagur, Friday, Venere, Venus or Venus, Venerdi, Friday, Aphroditone. Homer did not like fertility gods and goddesses, but liked Athena. Shanivasara, Saturday, Saturn day. Kronia, Laugar dagur, Shani, Saturnus, Loki. Gideon's soul, goddess sun, Saila, bliss, enlightenment, Gidya of enlightenment, goddess of decision-making, she is a leading power. Máni, mind, Soma, feelings, compassion. Týr, righteousness, the divine law, perfection of laws of nature. Cosmic law in Tivatun, he is purity, valor, braveness. Óðinn, consciousness, Buddha, Bud, Merkur, understanding, rational thinking, reasoning. Thor, power, knowledge, Jupiter, guru, profound knowledge and wisdom. Freyja, love, creative power, Venus, Shukra, Brigu, praising a man, mankind, love, appealing to us, attracts us. Loki, Saturnus, Shani, pain, suffering, problems, Shabbat, Hebrew, to rest. Stop getting married on Saturdays. Let's rather choose Freyja day for a wedding day. We can sleep on Saturdays mornings nowadays. Dreka haus, dragon's head, Ketu, impatience. Dreka hali, dragon's tail, Rahu, disappointments. In our god spells, he often bites his own tail. When we wish, we can change the names of days back to their original. The names are still here in our mother tongues. If we use the ancient names here in Iceland, everyone can understand. Now, there is one vital thing to consider. We should not get locked up in specialities. Good as they are, they must not blind us to the whole and to the context to the whole. Science of consciousness is not interdisciplinary. It is much more profound. Science of consciousness is the foundation for all subjects, the foundation for every our thought. The unified field of total natural law is the foundation of all. Physics, Dr. John Hagelin, where is peace? Only in the unified field. What we call a universe is of the same orderliness as is the unified field. One thing to be avoided. To be an expert in one sphere and not know how to nýsa niður, transcend, and nema upp, gain, total knowledge. Specialities tend to become too specialized, too narrow. All other specialities then become not my speciality. Then we refer to another specialist. Done. Specialities, as good as they are, should not be cut off from the foundation of all knowledge, ginnungagap, consciousness. We could end up in a sturdy cage of some speciality and forget the whole. Coming generations of scientists will learn the fundamental knowledge. Total knowledge is found within. All will now be connected to consciousness. Everything is to be found in the fundamental reality, consciousness, the unified field. Everyone will have access to it from preliminary school to PhD. CPE, consciousness-based education, is about to be everywhere on Earth. When the book Human Physiology by Dr. Tony Nader, see page 2 in this skræða, has been studied thoroughly, even understood well, if we are good at it, having read it at least thrice to begin with, then again and again, we will enjoy pondering over this. Antaios, published in Flandern at winter solstice, 1995. En contemplant le ciel, le dieu Óðinn a établi un repérage stellaire dont il transposait les formes sur la perle en inventant les runes symboliques. Þjóðvitnir claims to have tried that for 9 nights, 9 nights, and only to have seen fog. Does Óðinn lie on the back reading runes in the night sky of stars? Or is it Óðinn Indiana, Tao of thoughts, dvínun, nýsast niður, and so sees í hangi, hanging, pending, as when transcending? No bodily needs as physiological functions go to zero here. No need for sæla sig, eat. 9 nætur, no real time, only hang. To hang on a tree, cross, is symbolic language only. The spiritual fog goes away when we perform our Valkyria, as Valkyria serves consciousness for dhyana, transcending, go to afskarðis. We need nourishment in consciousness, ginnungagap, for our brain, for every body cell to reset, tune to perfection, the gungnir in our body, to serve the only purpose of life, to evolve to perfection. When we have spoiled something, we get a hammer and try to fix it. Here is hammering for us. Loki tends to fuck things up. Loki is mankind, we. That's my theory. But then tries to put things right again. In the end, we tie Loki in us up, but Sigyn, our friend, never lets us down. In is vinur a friend. Our stupidity is because of our immaturity. We have to amend that. Evil men and little lots cannot rightly bear the name men. We make problems. They do not exist if we don't make them. They exist because we make them. On behalf of nature, all is perfection. Thundarflæði, flow, in accordance with the purpose of the universe. Animals live in their paradise, that is, according to their inherent nature. Paradise means a fence, pyri, desha, fenced off, fenced in, used in some theocracies as an award, dead men's resort, so that men can look forward to death. It is life that is precious, not hell. When man gets to the point of understanding the difference between right and wrong, he claims to be clever. At least as he sees it, he is more clever than the animals, as animals act according to their nature, while man has free will, reasons, takes decisions, and has a highly evolved brain. Kali Yuga lasts 432,000 years, and in that time we can destroy a hell of a lot. Kali Yuga comes and goes, like sunset and sunrise in Iceland, slowly with twilights. On the equator, sun rises abruptly, vertically, and sets in a twinkle of an eye. But here up north, we have more horizontal sunrises and sunsets. Now we have the twilight of Satyuga. We can see it as more positive trends in our world. We shall try to amend life, batter away our ignorance, trutl, so we can see. Trutl are simply our mistakes. Some wear the hammer to remind them of being invincible. But the stage of consciousness of each man decides how he interprets that. Better to wear it under the clothes, not as a label for others to see. The hammer and the cross should not be labels for emphasizing worldly differences. That is dwelling in the duality of the world. Point out different opinions. Exalt the ego. I am, do you see, I am. Lousy attention sickness. A true man needs no such things. He is nishta, firmly grounded in truth. A true man rids himself of all labels, all systems, all sects, all worldly differences. Uniform is what is used for an obedient army, young men fed for slaughter. Sjálfur leið þú sjálfan þig, thou self lead thyself, is for individuals. Every man is an individual. Each einherji is a living individual, has now become a true individual, who sees that he is but ginnungagap. He needs no barcodes, need no uniforms, no best befores. We cannot see what state of consciousness a man lives by looking at him. Einherji lives all the gods. He has unhindered access to himself consciousness. He lives all orderliness. Every man can do this. We have unlimited possibilities. We are endowed with the divine, and how are we going to use it? Do we seek the mud or purity? How do we want our body to be? Tær means pure. We can decide to be, try hard to be very, very good, but if we use the hammer to batter our trolls, we spontaneously become good. We amend what we already ignorantly have damaged. Trying on the surface of life accumulates stress, irritation, and in the end bursts. To pretend or decide to do later on is not really any implementation, is it? Intent can be good, but is not enough. We need to nýsa niður to reap fimbulrúnir. Then good intention becomes genuine goodness, true and whole. Drómi and læðingur are no use as fetters on accumulated evil doings. Gleipnir alone holds. And how would we gain Gleipnir? Where are our högudvergar, skillful dwarfs? No problem to find them. We nýsumst niður, transcend, beyond nature's finest squares. Find rætur fjalls, roots of a mountain, skegg konu, woman's beard, andi fisks, breath of a fish, dynur kattar, noise of cat's steps, hráki fugls, spit of a bird, sinar bjarnar, bear's sinews. Easy, all is here for any man who seeks, as he will find. Some pretend to be pious, act and put on stage, but are really crude and rude. Underneath the visible surface, that which they try to hide. Not genuine, nothing for real. Surface for others to look at. Such a facade can easily be blown away, and then we see what is there, nothing praiseworthy. Opposites are closer than might seem. Hollow talk about compassion and cruelty, pretense of being broad-minded, and fanaticism and bigotry, religious hypocrite. In turbulence of life, the true inhabitant of the body often gets revealed. A pseudo-halo might need some sturdy fastening for windy weathers. Our Ymir is magnificent. We see the beauty of his sound wherever we look. But nonetheless we have to seek hot goða, the true divine gold and treasures. It is found within. Here we accept 11 algullin epli freys, golden apples. If we don't, We might be blown about like a rootless cut-off branch. 3 lowest, pseudo. 3 fourth. Awake in stimuli, deep sleep shut off. REM, dream, like a TV. The 4th, awake, transcending. Let's begin by transcending to the 4th stage of consciousness. Easily reached in a second when we have the right technique, practiced correctly. Nýsast niður, falla aftur þaðan, then nýsa niður anew. Gothrun Dimblo, my teacher Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, an Indian physicist, an enlightened great guru, points out to us the knowledge and the understanding, asks us to find the wisdom in our own traditions and religions, and teaches us the easy technique to nýsa niður, transcend. The knowledge has come down, and we shall tell all men. No suffering shall ever be, the beauty of life only, everywhere. Best of thanks to thee, Maharishi, my teacher. These scribes are here put forth so that all burns can have access to the highest truth and will learn to understand and appreciate their ancient heritage. So they will learn to nýsast niður, as that is the current essence of fornisiður and all profound siðir in the whole world. We should favor our own, not systems and institutions imposed upon us for power greed. Surface values can be stolen, added to systems, fakes that look real. But the truth found in fornisiður cannot be abused when we know truth and live it. We can twist words and theories. We can try to mock and make jokes. But poems like Þrymskviða and the drag queens, Thor and Loki, are amusements themselves, so stupid versions of them only expose the stupidity of those who try to mock them. He who performs from the sphere of total natural law, whose presidents are the gods, can only do right, think right, speak right. He is on the path to perfection. Nista, Sanskrit, ni, sta, ni is down, on the basis, sta, stand, standing. Standing firmly in reality, the only that is, ginnungagap, consciousness, truth. Flýgur frjáls í himin vitund sinni, flies free in his sky of consciousness. We learn to do research in consciousness. We shall understand the core and essence and practice the profundity taught here, online and books. Muni, Yogin, Hyen Unin. The great knowledge, our culture and spiritual heritage, rediscovered. Knowledge cannot be given to anyone. The pupil finds the knowledge within himself. He is consciousness, where all wisdom and knowledge abides. We shall understand and appreciate the wisdom contained in our priceless spiritual and cultural heritage. Óðsmál is the key to the abyss of spiritual Edda, ancient Norse heritage, myths and poems, profound science of consciousness, allegory, symbolic language, Eltimon.